What's up, everybody? Scamp the Wolf here, and welcome to the Spotify Release Radar stream. This is where, this is, on this stream, I'm going to be checking my Spotify Release Radar, doing all kinds of stuff. So, I hope everybody who watches this stream is having a good night, no matter where you are in the world. If there's anybody watching out there, that would be pretty good. Yeah, definitely. I might do some of these streams earlier, so there's more people that come in, but that doesn't matter anyway. I've had people come in at 9 o'clock during streams, other YouTubers. I don't have a huge amount of YouTubers or anything, but it's good. So yeah, there's no new albums coming out tonight unless there's something that I'm missing. So yeah, I think we should get right to it. The release radar for this week. Last week there was Wolves at the Gate with that song that wasn't very good. Whatever that was, Stop the Bleeding or whatever. I said last week, if you want my recap on that song, it's very disappointing. In my opinion, I don't know if it's from a new album or whatever. It's probably a standalone, but I thought that song was honestly trash. I'm sorry if anyone liked it. If you like the song, good for you, but I just found that song to be not very good, very standard. Vocals weren't very good and stuff. And so that was that song. Probably the worst Wolves at the Gate song. When I think Wolves at the Gate are pretty good. I have Eclipse and I have Types and Shadows on CD. But I am not sure about this new album, if it's going to be good or not. I could be completely wrong. They could, cut the awful screaming vocals, not like this, and go back to the screaming vocals that were on the older albums, because that was actually pretty good. Not this high screaming nonsense that was on that song. So yeah, honestly, thinking about that song has I can now confidently say that I dislike that song. And I'm sorry if there's anybody that enjoys it or anything like that, but I just didn't like it. And then, of course, Fear Factory had that song, Disruptor, which I thought was very good. The vocals have... At first, I didn't say... They didn't, turn me off, but they were just different coming from that band's lead vocalist, because, once this song has grown on me, and I get a little bit more, and it's definitely... I thought it was good before, I definitely think it's good now. I didn't really like the chorus melody as much. I think the chorus melody is okay, but no, it's still pretty good, I think. And I think this accelerated, whatever the heck that album's called, Aggression Continuum, that's the name of the album. It comes out June 18th, and that's a very exciting day. I think another band has an album coming out on that very day. Let me look on my phone real quick, because, I know there was something coming out on June 18th as well. I don't remember what it was. I could be completely crazy, but, whatever, right? I'm just going to see June 18th for a second. Hacktivist. I think that was the album. That album from Hyper Dialect or whatever. I think it might have been that album that I was like, this could be something. And we're starting to get more releases from like high profile bands coming out. Like, of course, in June as well, we have Atreyu, Rise Against, and something else. Black Veil Brides. Like those three, regardless of what you feel about all those bands, especially like Black Veil Brides, I'm not a fan. Those are big names. Also, like there's Cleopatra. I've never heard Cleopatra, and if I have, I don't remember. On June 4th, June 11th has AFI, Garbage with their first album in like 4 years or something. Like Garbage. The band isn't garbage, but they're good. That was a pun, by the way. Like, I'm sorry. Like I said, the band isn't garbage. I think they're pretty good, but whatever. I'm bad at jokes. So we have, and also we have Beartooth and Light the Torch coming out on June 25th. So May and June, I'll go to the May stuff in a second, but I'm just going to look over what we have in July. At the Gates comes out on July 2nd with an album. I'm not huge on At the Gates. I've heard some of their stuff. They're pretty solid. Mellow Death. I'm not a fan of Mellow Death, though, but I think they are pretty good. There's a band named the Wallflowers, which had some one-hit wonders and stuff like that in like the 90s with an album coming out. Exit Wounds. That's July 9th. Prince has a posthumous release, whatever, on July 30th. That's not rock, whatever, rock or metal. Candlebox is coming out in September 17th with an album called Wolves or something like that. Yeah, Wolves. But going back to May for a second. Like, in a couple weeks, we have a lot of stuff. Like, May 7th, that's when all the releases are. Like, we have that Stained live album. I think that comes out on May 7th. Either May 7th or June 25th, because I saw on Target's website that it had a June 25th release date, and I don't know what to think of that. But also, we have Weezer coming out, which I'm not super huge on Weezer's new material. Not necessarily. Like, I'd rather be invested in their older stuff. But, like, I don't hate anything that I heard from Weezer coming, whatever. It's just that Weezer is kind of just there, like, nowadays. Like, I know a lot of people don't like Weezer's new stuff, but, whatever. Like, so, and Saliva has that Every 20 Years EP. I'm not a fan of Saliva as much, even though I have a couple of their albums, like Back Into Your System, which I think is okay. But, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Saliva, but they were re-recording some of their songs that were really big. Like, May 21st, May 21st is when we get all the releases, Like, we have, like, Pop Evil coming out on the 21st. Not huge on Pop Evil, but I could pick up that album because it has a Target exclusive. And I've never picked up a Pop Evil album before, so aside from, like, a single, when Best Buy was doing singles, I picked up, like, the Footsteps singles, and that was pretty much it. But other than that, like, whatever. Like, Devil Wears Prada has a new EP coming out, Zombie 2 or Z2, which is interesting. Not super huge on the Devil Wears Prada anymore. And I'm not even that big on Zombie, the original EP, but, like, they're a band that's fine. Like, Transit Blues is a good album. And their metalcore stuff is pretty decent. Whatever. Of course, Vola with Witness, Vex with Culture, Vex, Vexed. They're a new band. There's a band named Sumo Psycho coming out with an album on May 7th, which I heard some of their stuff. It wasn't my thing, but whatever. Like, I'll probably listen to that too. On 28th. May 28th is where things get interesting because Of Mice and Men has their second EP, Bloom, coming out on that date. This followed up the EP they released earlier this year, Timeless, which was the same day as Architect's new album. That was before I was doing these streams. And that EP disappointed me, to be quite honest, because like it was only 3 songs, but like the songs weren't really completed. I didn't feel like the songs had the 2 songs that were on it. Like it's only 3 tracks. Like I didn't feel this like whatever they were, Timeless and Acre or something like that. Those 2 songs felt very haphazard, very. And I'm a fan of the band of Mice and Men. Like honestly, that fandom is kind of going a little bit downhill, a little bit, kind of, sort of, but like they're still a good band. I think. Like, but it's just the only song I liked was Obsolete, which was the single. That's it. And now they have this EP coming out, Bloom, and it's they released the title track, and honestly, the title track is very good, very well written stuff, very aggressive, very heavy. Like this could be something good. This could be better than Timeless, I think, but we'll have to see what happens. And yeah, there's nothing else coming out like yet that we know of past June 25th or July 2nd. The only 2 that are scheduled right now are some band named Power Wolf, which I'm assuming is some power metal band, and Dee Snider, who's in some Twisted Sister. He's from Twisted Sister. And probably not my cup of tea, whatever, whatsoever. Power Wolf. Yep, they are power metal band, and I'm not huge on power metal, so whatever. Those are the only 2 metal releases that are scheduled for July. So, on that note, let's see if the release radar will indicate something different and something that is actually new coming out past July or whatever, or even in June, because there's a lot of releases coming out in June. So we have the release radar. Here's the list. Against the Current has an acoustic version of a song. I know my brother is a huge Against the Current fan. Like, they're a trio with a female lead vocalist, and they're fine, I think. This is just an acoustic song, so whatever. Lynn. Like, if you haven't been catching up with Lynn, they've been doing re-recordings of songs. Like, they've done full albums, like, since the pandemic started. They've been doing a lot of, like, stuff where it's like they re-record the albums, like, and retitle it. Like, this one they redid New Surrender. And so, like, those are all the re-recordings for that. I'm assuming they'll probably tackle their next the other 3 albums as well. August Burns Red coming out with another song, Poor Millionaire. I don't know if that's a cover or if that's just something, just another song. It has Ryan Kirby. He's from some band, I don't know. He could be from Fit for a King, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's him or not. Beartooth has another song, Hell of It. That's the third release single from their album Below, which is coming out June 25th. Black Orchid Empire, live in the studio. Motorcade, they have Pray to the Creature come in, and Motorcade. That's an EP that they did. Now, the next one is kind of weird because, I'm somewhat of a country fan. I'm older stuff. Yeah, whatever. But, like, for some reason, Spotify keeps putting country stuff because I have had a history of listening to country music. And they assume that I'm a country fan, like, for life. So they put country stuff on here. Next one is Blake Shelton, Bible Verses. And whatever. I mean, if you're a fan of Blake Shelton, like, maybe go check that out. I don't know. Like he's kind of there. Something from Creative Vets. They call me Doc, but it has an Aaron Lewis. I'm assuming that's probably not the Aaron Lewis that you're thinking of. And I know Aaron Lewis is in a lot of controversy, like especially with all of stuff he's doing or whatever. The band Currents has released an instrumental version of their album The Way It Ends. The Way It Ends. That was one of my top 10 best of last year. And they do what a lot of bands in that scene do. They do release an instrumental version without vocals so you can hear the instruments and stuff. And that's fine. Devil Wears Prada band we were just talking about released song Termination. Enter Shikari, the Dreamers Hotel acoustic moratorium broadcasts from the interruption. It's all live stuff and at home stuff and stuff like that. Again, two country artists actually, Eric Church and Joe Nichols. I'm assuming if you're a fan of Eric Church and Joe Nichols, you'll probably be interested in those two songs, Where I Want to Be, Home Run, from their respective artists. I know Eric Church has a triple album. I know this because my brother has Heart on CD. That's his first album. But he doesn't have Soul, so of course, because it's not out yet. It'll be out tomorrow, but where I live, it's available for listening. So yeah, whatever. Something from Santana and Japo and MP, I don't know. Probably some rap song or something. Yep. Look at the cover artwork. It is from something like I think I have had a history of listening to some rap, and maybe that's why they put some rap artists for a while. Every time I would go on my release radar, there would be something from E40 or something. And I'm like, come on. Again, Justin Moore. I'm not really a country person. I'm not really a fan of Justin Moore, really. So whatever. Again, it's just some stuff New Edition. I think that's a new 8-band or something. I don't know. No, it's not. It's something. Mars Volta has an unfinished original recordings of Delouse and the Comatorium. That's their first album. It's called Landscape Tantrums. And it's if you're a super diehard Mars Volta fan, you can check that out. I have all their albums now. I'm casually into them. I'm not super massively huge into them like a lot of people are, but they're good. Francis the Mute, that album's good. Octahedron and all that stuff. It's good. Of course, all of Mice and Men with Bloom. We just talked about them. Our Last Night and Rev Theory. Really? Our Last Night? What is this? Winter? I don't know if they still do covers or not, but I'm not interested in Our Last Night whatsoever. I don't care. And then Rev Theory, okay. I guess they're rock. They are rock, definitely. They're on the Fuel music, which tells you. And it's called Make Me a Drink. Plastic Cinema remix, whatever. So I'm guessing it's a remix of one of their songs. They had a career. They're not that relevant anymore, so whatever. Royal Blood, Boilermaker, I think that came out last week or something like that. Seether has a Bruised and Bloodied acoustic version, which another acoustic song. And you know how I said I would get rap artists sometimes in the release radar? Well, I have a Snoop Dogg song on here, which, come on, Snoop Dogg's good, but I don't consistently listen to rap like Spotify thinks that I do, based off of me listening to some rap songs or something. Like Spotify should really consider what kind of fans like people really are of whatever genres that they're into. Like, and yes, people might like genres that they're not songs from genres that they're not a fan of, but like they're not like I don't know what I'm saying. Like whatever. Like it's something. If you're a fan of Snoop Dogg, you can listen to that whatever that album. Stained has Mud Shovel slash It's Been a While. That's I think from their live album. Yep, it is. Tell a Friend Like Me. I know what this was. They did like the band Tala did like a Disney cover songs album, and it's supposed to be done heavy metal ish. And the final three, and it's diverse. Tracy Lawrence, We Are the Catalyst, and Yellow Wolf. And Yellow Wolf is a rapper, and of course Tracy Lawrence is a country singer. And again, it's like they think I'm just this country and rap fan and a rock fan too. And that's not the case whatsoever. Like, I mean, I do like Tracy Lawrence. He's okay. Like, I'm not gonna listen to like his newer stuff. I'm gonna go listen to classic country if that's what I'm going to do. Like, whatever, right? And then We Are the Catalyst. I don't know what this Set the World on Fire thing's all about. They're kind of like Evanescence, kind of sort Lacuna Coil. They're one of those kind of bands. Apparently, they had a song called Doom come out earlier this year. And they're okay. They're good. But their last album, Ephemeral, if I'm pronouncing that right, was solid. And they've had a solid career. So, they're decent. I don't know if the Set the World on Fire is a cover of a song because I've seen that title before or something. And you never know now. It sucks now because they don't put in like they don't like put beside this is a cover of this song or anything. You don't know. Like at least with Tella, if you see Fred Like Me, you know, that's probably and they announced beforehand they did the Aladdin cover. It's like, okay, it's from Aladdin. Like others, like the Our Last Night, I don't know if that's a cover because Our Last Night has had a reputation of being like this cover band, this post-hardcore cover band that and their original material is so forgettable and they just do covers because why not? And then they have a cover of Willow out. Like that's a Taylor Swift song, so definitely and they don't have like this is a Taylor Swift cover on it beside it. But you do figure that it's probably a cover because look at how many songs that they have, like singles. If you go to their singles section, they have like tons and tons of singles. You'll probably be here all day looking for like Someone You Love, which is probably and it's like I think that might be a song. I don't know. Sucker, of course, Jonas Brothers, Seven Rings, of course, Ariana Grande. So they've covered a lot of like pop songs and stuff. Seven Rings sucks. I'm just gonna say that right now. Seven Rings sucks. I mean, like, it was interesting when they did like Who Let the Dogs Out and stuff like that. That was kind of interesting, I guess. And then like, there's so many like. The only cover that has really like piqued my interest is the cover of that Major Lazer song, "Cold Water." And I thought that was a kind of a decent like thing, but it's like that was the song that I heard first. If you could pick from any of their covers and say, "Oh yeah, this I like this," and then novelty will wear off really fast because they just wanted to do covers and then just They just wanted to be, oh, hey, this pop song's really big. Let's do a cover of it. And here we go. And I don't really think Our Last Night is that good of a band for doing that. Like, the novelty has worn off, I think. So, yeah. That's just me talking about the release radar. Unfortunately, there's nothing here that I would like, that, like, yes, I'm going to listen to that, like, right now. Because, one, I've already listened to Bloom by Of Mice and Men. I think that song's good. And, of course, I've listened to The Way It Ends. It's just the instrumental version, which I'm pretty sure it'd be interesting to hear. Like, it's always interesting to hear, like, instrumental stuff from bands, like, when they do that. Like, it's a cliche of that scene, but I don't mind a cliche, basically. And a lot of it's just third singles from albums and, like, other stuff. Like, and, like, the August Burns Red song. I don't even know if that's a cover or not. Ryan Kirby. I keep forgetting about who Ryan Kirby is. Yeah, he is from Fit for a King. Yeah, Ryan Kirby is, like, Fit for a King. I'm not huge on. I do like Off-Road Minivan. I thought that was good. It made my top 30 best albums. Oh, okay. Okay. It's so they re-recorded Leveler, and I think Poor Millionaire is a song on there. Okay. I didn't know that, or I forgot about that. I knew about Poor Millionaire, but I didn't know what it was, so I was kind of stumped. So thankfully, I have this format here to, like, kind of, like, corroborate that, and I have the internet beside me. Like, imagine if I was doing this on camera, I'd be like, okay, so, like, we have this here, we have August Burns Red, Poor Millionaire. It was probably covered. Oh, shh, and I turn the camera off. Oh, it's from Leveler. Okay, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed me being stupid on camera. I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much. So, like, yeah, I just wanted to do a stream because, like, I didn't really have anything else to do today. So yeah, so that's basically the release radar. There's no songs on here that, like, there's nothing on here that's, like, I know for sure that it's a new band. There's nothing more, and they're really busy working on that album, that new album that they're supposed to come out with in 2021. And that's an album I'm looking forward to now. I mean, we already got Chevelle, we already got, like, tons of albums, but, like, nothing more is the one that I'm, like, really hoping actually does come out in 2021, because Stories We Tell Ourselves, man, that album, perfect. Still to this day, perfect, in my opinion. Like, yeah. And and on the topic of Stain, I did want to talk about this. I know I'm well aware that Aaron Lewis did that song about conservatives and stuff like that, whatever he was talking about. Like, and if you don't know, like, Aaron Lewis is this kind of, like, super gun rights person now. Of course, he's a country singer and all this stuff. Like, and he's, like, whining about how, oh, the Democrats changed everything. Oh, and I'm just sitting here going, like, really, dude? Like, yes, the Democrats are taking over, but, like, I mean, like, the problem is that both sides bitch about everything all the time. Like you have Aaron Lewis and all the Republicans bitching about how the Democrats are changing everything, and then they don't like the Democrats because whatever. And then the Democrats are over here talking about how bad the Republicans are, and how Aaron Lewis is a whiner and a like sad white boy and all that, or like Aaron Lewis is like people like him are just wrong for being Republican or just not wanting to be a Democrat. And this is where I really feel good being an independent because it's just like this is exactly why our country is going downhill and has been going downhill because of this. You know, like Aaron Lewis probably like I hope that he's able to like keep his like I respect like I don't like I like it's fine if you're a Republican. Okay, yes, I have a conservative family. That's fine. Like, but like at least I know how to get along with them, and I would get along with them the same way I would get along with a Democrat. Like people like Aaron Lewis stuff. Like all they do is like scream about how they don't want to hear a Bruce Springsteen song because he's Bruce Springsteen and is a Democrat or something. Like I didn't even hear this song. It's not even worth hearing. But I would just wish that Aaron Lewis would get his shit together and just do something. You know, like when he's not being super political, like and stuff like that, he's fine. Aaron Lewis's country stuff is fine enough. Like I don't really hate him. I've said before I don't hate him as much as everyone else does. Like I have vocal covers of his songs on my channel. Like songs like For You and stuff like that. So I've had a history with Stain, and I don't really hate anything that he's done, other than maybe a couple songs, but that's beside the point. But like the problem is that he's just fighting about everything. Like and it's nowadays every people like him and Ted Nugent and like even Sully Erna of Godsmack with his like, oh, I don't want to live around Republicans. I want to go live in Florida. Like, dude, just like, it's fine. You can be a Republican and live in like wherever. You can be a Democrat and live. You can be an independent like me and live wherever and like get along with people at least like and see ground like and be on the same level. Let's see eye to eye and like explain what your beliefs are and all that stuff. Like I just don't really care for this kind of a direction that Aaron Lewis is taking his like songwriting and stuff like that. Like I mean it's not Chris Taylor Brown bad, Trapped. Like because at least he's not like in the far right or in the far left even. Like because though that's when the actual violence happens and stuff like that. And I'm not for all those kinds of groups. I'm so not. Like but like Aaron Lewis just needs to like calm down a little bit and just actually like I'm not saying he can't be political, but I'm saying like he needs to just simmer down a bit and just focus on getting Stain back together if they can. And if Stain does make something that's good or bad or whatever, like then at least there's that. And then just not deal with this stuff. Because and I'm not saying that I'm like the biggest Stain fan in the world because nowadays I'm really not. Like my experience, like they were one of like the first bands in secular rock that I got into, and then as time kind of went on, they kind of decreased a little bit. Like, and then I just started finding their material kind of just mid tier, basically. Like, like Break the Cycle and Dysfunction are good, but like the rest of them, like they're kind of just there, you know. Like they're not like they're not a long term band in my opinion. Like and you don't see other bands like Seether or Breaking Benjamin from that same scene doing stuff like this because like they know how to like respect their fans and stuff like or like make good music and stuff like and it's not wrong to be political like there's some good interesting stuff you could get from people who are political or you could learn some things about stuff like and there's good songs that like attack politicians or like criticize them not attack them but like whatever like they're meant as a shot to them but like and there are bands who really do a good job about that. Rage Against the Machine, for one. But, like, you know, like there's an immature way of doing it. And I think that's what Aaron Lewis is doing with this, whatever this song is called. Whatever that song about the conservatives was called. Let me. Am I the only one? That's the song. And, you know, I just find him like saying, "Oh, I can't sing a Bruce Springsteen song anymore." Like that's kind of random, and that's kind of dumb because Bruce Springsteen doesn't really need to put up with this, and whatever. Like Bruce Springsteen doesn't probably even care, and I'm not huge on Bruce Springsteen really. Like he would be, I would check him out probably. He would be interesting to check out, but like I'm not the biggest fan of his stuff, but I just find this kind of ridiculous and somewhat funny, to be honest. So, all that being said, I hope you guys have a good night, and I hope you enjoyed my rant of Aaron Lewis and the release radar stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I need to leave now. So what do you think? Like like what's on your release radar? Like I would probably like to know that too. Like so if you would leave it in the comments or like whatever. Or like make a video yourself about what songs are on your Spotify release radar and all that stuff. So yeah, I would like to see that more people doing that because there's not enough people doing that. Of course, you know, like it would be good. So yeah, just leave it down there. Like, dislike if you want, subscribe if you want, even. And that's it. So this is Scamp the Wolf signing out. Take care.